My name's Ethan Carter, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around what went down with my folks last month. I needed a place to crash for just 3 weeks, nothing crazy, just a temporary spot while I sorted out a new apartment. My landlord had to sell the place I was renting, so I was in a bind. I figured my parents' house in Ohio would be a safe bet. I mean, it's family, right? But when I called, they acted like I was asking for a kidney. Mom was all, "Oh, Ethan, the house is chaos right now. Your dad's got projects everywhere, and we're stretched thin." I pressed her, asking what was so chaotic, and she mumbled about the garage being a mess and some plumbing issues. It sounded off, like she was dodging me. I let it slide, thinking I'd try Dad later. The next day, I called him, and he gave me the same runaround. "No space, Ethan. Your sister Lauren's back home for a bit, and her stuff's all over. The spare room's full of junk." I got frustrated. I'm their son, not some random guy off the street. I offered to pay for groceries, help with chores, whatever they needed. Dad just shut me down, saying, "It's not a good time, period." I was mad but didn't push it. I ended up crashing on my buddy Jake's couch, living out of a duffel bag and scouring rental listings like a madman. 2 days later, I got a text from Lauren that flipped everything upside down. She wasn't just back home, like Dad said. She was furious because our parents had let her ex-boyfriend, Tyler Grant, move into my old bedroom. Yeah, my room. Tyler's the guy who broke Lauren's heart twice by hooking up with other girls and once called my dad a washed-up has-been at Thanksgiving, right in front of the whole family. Everyone swore he was done after that, but apparently not. I texted Dad, asking if it was true. He didn't reply for hours, then called and admitted it. "Tyler's hit a rough patch, Ethan. We're giving him a hand." I was floored. "So, you've got room for him, but not me?" I asked. Dad didn't miss a beat. "Tyler's got more backbone than you'll ever have." I laughed, thinking it was a joke, but then I asked Mom, and she doubled down. "We know we can rely on him, Ethan. You? Not so much." I drove to the house that night, too pissed to think straight. Dad answered the door, looking at me like I was a salesman. I asked to grab my stuff from my room, but he said it was all in the basement now, packed away. I heard Tyler's voice inside, joking with someone on the phone, and it hit me like a punch. I told them, "You've made your choice. Don't expect me to come back." Dad just stared. Mom started to speak, but I cut her off. "Save it." Lauren came out, whispering she was sorry, that she had no say. Tyler peeked out, gave me this smug look, and I told him to keep his mouth shut or we'd have problems. I grabbed my boxes from the basement, threw them in my truck, and peeled out. Mom was yelling from the porch, but I didn't look back. Now they're blowing up my phone with messages, acting like they're the victims. "Ethan, this isn't what we meant." I'm not buying it. I'm done being the fallback guy they only call when they need something. I've got a plan, and they're not gonna like it. I'll keep you posted. It's been a week since I stormed out of my parents' house, and I'm still crashing on Jake's couch, trying to piece together what the hell just happened. I'm Ethan Carter, by the way, and if you missed the last part, my folks chose to let my sister's ex, Tyler Grant, crash in my old room while telling me there was no space for me. Tyler, the guy who cheated on Lauren twice and insulted my dad at Thanksgiving, is somehow their golden boy. I told them I was done, and I meant it, but they're acting like nothing happened. Mom keeps texting me random stuff, like, "Ethan, do you remember where we put the spare batteries? Or can you tell me how to log into the cable account?" No apology, no mention of the fight, just business as usual. I haven't replied, but it's driving me nuts how they think I'm still their errand boy. Then Dad called yesterday, sounding all casual, asking if I could swing by to help fix the lawnmower because Tyler doesn't know his way around tools. I almost choked laughing. I told him, "Figure it out yourself," and he got all icy, saying, "Fine, be that way." Like I'm the one being unreasonable. Lauren texted me later, saying she's stuck in the middle of this mess. Apparently, Tyler's acting like he owns the place, leaving dishes everywhere and blasting music at midnight. Dad's grumbling but won't kick him out, and Mom's just tiptoeing around, pretending it's fine. Lauren said she tried talking to them, but Dad snapped at her to stop stirring drama. She's pissed but feels trapped since she's saving up to move out. Here's some context. Dad's always had this thing about control. He's a retired mechanic, old school, expects everyone to fall in line. I've never been that guy. I ask questions, push back, and he hates it. He wanted a son who'd follow in his footsteps, maybe take over his garage one day. But I'm a graphic designer, single, no kids, not his idea of a real man. Tyler, though, he's a smooth talker, knows how to nod along and make Dad feel like the boss, even if he's just mooching. Mom's no better. She backs Dad up no matter what, then plays the martyr when things go south, crying about how the family's falling apart. I think they keep Tyler around because he's someone they can fix, unlike me, who they can't control. The real kicker came when Mom called again, asking if I could send her $40 for gas because they're a bit short after buying Tyler new jeans for a job interview. I told her no, and she hung up on me. Then my cousin Brian messaged me on Facebook, asking if I was okay because Mom's been telling the family I turned my back on them. I sent him the whole story, and he just replied, "Man, that's messed up." Lauren called me later, practically in tears. She said Tyler's been inviting his buddies over, and they trashed the living room couch with pizza grease. Dad yelled at her for not keeping an eye on them. She told him to deal with Tyler himself, and he just stormed off. She's thinking about crashing with a friend, but doesn't want to leave Mom alone with those two. I'm done playing nice. I started texting Mom and Dad a list of every time I've bailed them out, fixing their computer, paying their phone bill when they forgot, even buying them a new toaster last year. I told them if they want help, they can start by paying me back. Mom tried to call, but I ignored it. Dad texted, "Grow up." I'm not keeping their secrets anymore. When my uncle asked what's going on, I told him straight. They picked Tyler over me. He didn't believe it until I showed him Lauren's texts. Now Mom's panicking because the family's starting to talk. I'm not stopping here. They're gonna see what life's like without me holding everything together. More soon. I'm Ethan Carter, and it's been about 2 weeks since I told my parents I was done after they let my sister's ex, Tyler Grant, take over my old room while claiming there was no space for me. I'm still on my buddy Jake's couch, hustling to find a new place, but the drama at my folks' house in Ohio is spiraling. Mom's still texting me like nothing's wrong, asking dumb stuff like, "Ethan, how do I update the smart TV?" Or, "Do you know where the extra light bulbs are?" No mention of the fight. No sorry, just acting like I'm their tech support. I stopped answering, but it's wild how they think I'll just jump back in. Dad called the other day, gruff as ever, asking if I could come by to fix the leaky kitchen sink since Tyler can't handle a wrench. I told him, "Call a plumber," and he hung up, muttering something about me being ungrateful. Lauren, my sister, keeps me in the loop, and it's a mess over there. Tyler's treating the house like his personal frat pad, leaving beer cans everywhere, blasting video games at 3 in the morning, and not lifting a finger to help. Lauren said Mom tried asking him to chip in for groceries, and he just laughed, saying he's between jobs. Dad's pissed, but won't do anything because, I guess, Tyler's still his idea of a real man. Lauren's fed up. She told Dad to kick Tyler out, and he snapped at her, saying she's making things worse. She's saving every penny to get her own place, but it's slow going. She feels bad for Mom, who's stuck playing peacemaker while Dad and Tyler butt heads. For context, my dad's always been a control freak. He's got this image of what a family should be, him in charge, everyone else nodding along. I've never fit that mold. I'm 30, single, doing my graphic design thing, and I don't take orders just because he barks them. He resents that I'm not like him, wrench in hand, fixing cars. Tyler, though, he's a chameleon, acts all respectful to Dad's face, then does whatever he wants. Mom's too scared to rock the boat. She'll defend Dad's every move, then cry when it blows up, like she's shocked it went bad. I think they let Tyler stay because he's someone they can boss around, unlike me, who calls out their nonsense. The real chaos started when Mom called, voice all shaky, asking if I could loan her $50 for the electric bill. She said they're tight because they had to cover Tyler's phone bill, so he could job hunt. I told her, not my problem, and she got mad, saying I'm punishing them. Then my Aunt Karen texted, worried, because Mom's been telling everyone I've abandoned the family. I sent Karen the full story, Tyler in my room, Dad's insults, all of it. She called me later, stunned, saying she had no idea. Lauren called me that night, half laughing, half crying. Apparently, Tyler invited some random girl over, and they broke a lamp in the living room. Dad blamed Lauren for not supervising, and she lost it, yelling that she's not Tyler's babysitter. Mom just hid in her bedroom, pretending it wasn't happening. I decided I'm not just gonna sit back. I sent Mom and Dad a detailed email, listing every time I've helped them out, setting up their online banking, covering their car insurance when they were short, even fixing their porch steps last summer. I told them if they want my help, they can start by apologizing and paying me back for the stuff they borrowed. Dad replied, "You're acting like a kid." Mom left a voicemail, crying, but still asking me to reset their Wi-Fi. I ignored it. I started telling the truth to anyone who asked. My cousin Brian called, and I laid it all out. He was shocked and said he'd talk to Dad. I doubt it'll do much, but I'm done hiding their mess. Mom's freaking out because the family's gossiping now, and she can't spin it. Tyler tried messaging me on Instagram, some garbage about letting go of grudges. I told him to stay out of my life, or I'd remind everyone what he said about Dad at Thanksgiving. He blocked me. Things are tense, and I'm not backing down. I'll update soon. I'm Ethan Carter, and it's been almost a month since my parents decided my sister's ex, Tyler Grant, was more welcome in their Ohio house than I was. If you're just catching up, they told me there was no room for me when I needed a place for 3 weeks, then gave my old bedroom to Tyler, the guy who cheated on Lauren twice and called my dad a has-been at Thanksgiving. I told them I was done, and now I'm still crashing on my friend Jake's couch, hunting for an apartment. The fallout's getting uglier. Mom keeps texting like everything's normal, asking stuff like, "Ethan, can you help me update my email password? Or do you know how to fix the garage door opener?" No apology, just expecting me to jump in. I've ignored every message, but it's maddening how they act like I'm still on call. Dad called last week, voice all gruff, asking if I could come by to sort out the cable box because Tyler messed it up. I told him, not my job anymore, and he got mad, saying I'm turning my back on family. Lauren's stuck in the chaos, texting me updates. Tyler's turned their house into a pigsty, empty chip bags on the couch, muddy boots in the hallway, and he's not paying a dime. Lauren said Mom begged him to help with dishes, and he just shrugged, saying he's not a maid. Dad's fuming but won't kick him out, muttering about giving Tyler a second chance. Lauren tried talking sense into them, but Mom shut her down, saying she's being dramatic. Lauren's counting pennies to move out, but she's worried about leaving Mom with those two clowns. A bit of background. Dad's a control nut. Always has been. He's a retired mechanic who thinks he's the king of the castle, and if you don't obey, you're out. I've always been the odd one out, designing logos instead of fixing engines, asking why instead of just doing what he says. He hates that I'm my own man. Tyler, though, plays the game, kisses up to Dad, then does whatever he wants behind his back. Mom's just as bad, enabling Dad's every whim, then crying when it all goes wrong. I think they keep Tyler around because he's a project they can save, while I'm too stubborn to bend to their rules. Things escalated when Mom called, practically whispering, asking if I could send $60 for the water bill. She said they're strapped because they bought Tyler a new jacket for work. I laughed and said, "Tell Tyler to pay it." She got all huffy and hung up. Then my Uncle Steve messaged me, saying Mom's telling the family I've disowned them. I sent him the whole story, Tyler in my room, Dad's insults, Mom's excuses. He called me, shocked, saying he'll talk to Mom. Lauren called later, sounding exhausted. Tyler had his buddies over again, and they broke a kitchen chair. Dad yelled at Lauren for not managing the situation, and she snapped, telling him to handle his own guest. Mom just locked herself in her room, crying. I'm done being their doormat. I sent Mom and Dad a text, listing every time I've saved their butts, paying their internet bill, fixing their furnace, buying them a new coffee maker when theirs died. I told them if they want my help, they owe me an apology and every cent I've spent. Dad texted back, "You're pathetic." Mom left a voicemail, half crying, half asking me to fix their printer. I didn't respond. I started spilling the truth to the family. When my cousin Rachel asked what's up, I told her, they chose Tyler over me. She was floored and said she'd call Mom. Now Mom's panicking because the family's whispering, and she can't control the narrative. Tyler tried DMing me on Facebook, some nonsense about being a bigger man. I told him if he contacts me again, I'll make sure everyone knows what he said about Dad. He blocked me. The house is a powder keg, and I'm not lifting a finger to help. I've got more planned. I'll keep you posted. I'm Ethan Carter, and it's been 6 weeks since my parents picked Tyler Grant, my sister Lauren's ex, over me, giving him my old room in their Ohio house while telling me there was no space. I'm still on Jake's couch, closing in on a new apartment lease, but the chaos at my folks' place is hitting new lows. Mom's texts keep coming, acting like I'm still their fix-it guy. Last week, she asked, "Ethan, can you help me with the bank app?" No mention of our fight, just straight to what she needs. I've ignored everyone, but it's unreal how they expect me to act like nothing's wrong. Dad called, all business, asking if I could swing by to patch a hole in the wall because Tyler doesn't know drywall. I told him, hire someone, and he cursed me out, saying I'm a selfish son. Lauren's texts paint a grim picture. Tyler's turned the house into a dump. Pizza boxes stacked in the kitchen, cigarette butts on the porch, and he's still not paying a cent. Lauren said Mom tried getting him to clean up, and he just smirked, saying, "Not my mess." Dad's losing it but won't boot him, clinging to this idea that Tyler's fixable. Lauren confronted them, begging them to kick Tyler out, but Mom said they can't abandon him. Lauren's working overtime, desperate to move out, but she's torn about leaving Mom in that mess. She feels like the only one holding it together. Here's the deal with my family. Dad's a control freak, always barking orders like he's still running his old mechanic shop. I've never been his ideal son, too independent, too artsy, with my graphic design work. He wanted to mini him, not me. Tyler plays into Dad's ego, acting like he's all ears, then slacks off. Mom's his enabler, nodding along to his every whim, then playing victim when it backfires. They keep Tyler around because he's a project, someone they can mold, unlike me, who's always pushed back. Things hit a boiling point when Mom called, voice cracking, asking for $70 to cover the gas bill. She said they're broke because they paid for Tyler's car repair. I told her, let Tyler figure it out, and she snapped, saying I'm tearing the family apart. Then my cousin Mike texted, saying Mom's telling everyone I've cut them off. I sent him the truth, Tyler's takeover, Dad's insults, Mom's excuses. He was stunned and said he'd talk to Dad. Lauren called that night, fuming. Tyler's buddies broke the back porch light, and Dad blamed her for not watching them. She yelled that she's not their keeper, and Mom just cried, hiding in her room. I'm done being their fallback. I emailed Mom and Dad a spreadsheet of every dime I've spent helping them, new router, car tires, even their water bill last year. I told them they owe me money and an apology before I lift a finger. Dad replied, "You're a disgrace." Mom left a voicemail, begging for help with their taxes. I didn't answer. I told my Uncle Steve the whole story when he called, and he was floored, saying he'll confront Dad. Mom's freaking out because the family's buzzing now, and she can't hide it. Tyler tried texting me some garbage about moving on. I told him to stay away or I'd spill what he said about Dad at Thanksgiving. He blocked me. I'm not stopping. I'm making sure they feel the weight of their choices. More soon. I'm Ethan Carter, and it's been 2 months since my parents chose Tyler Grant over me, letting him crash in my old room while I got the boot. I finally signed a lease for a small apartment, moving out of Jake's place next week, but the drama at my folks' Ohio house is imploding. Mom's texts have shifted from casual to desperate, like, "Ethan, the Wi-Fi's down, please help," or "Can you send $40 for groceries?" No apologies, just demands. I blocked her number, but she's using Lauren's phone now. Dad called, sounding worn out, asking if I could fix the furnace because Tyler broke it. I told him, call a pro, and he said I'm no son of his. Harsh, but I'm past caring. Lauren's updates are wild. Tyler's basically a squatter, eating all their food, leaving trash everywhere, and inviting random friends over. Lauren said Mom tried making him pay rent, and he laughed, saying he's figuring things out. Dad's had it but won't admit he was wrong about Tyler. Instead, he yells at Lauren for not helping enough. She's working double shifts, saving to move out, but she's stuck because Mom's a nervous wreck without her. Lauren said Tyler's latest stunt was stealing Dad's old toolbox to pawn it. Dad flipped, but Mom begged him to give Tyler one more chance. Dad's always been a dictator, needing everyone to bow to his rules. I'm the opposite, independent, questioning, not his dream son who'd take up his wrench. Tyler's a con artist, playing loyal to Dad's face, then mooching. Mom's complicit, backing Dad's bad calls, then crying when it all collapses. They cling to Tyler because he's a fixer-upper, while I'm too disobedient. The chaos peaked when my Aunt Karen called, saying Mom's telling relatives I'm destroying the family. I sent Karen screenshots of Lauren's texts about Tyler's antics. She was horrified and confronted Mom, who admitted they're struggling. Lauren called, saying Tyler's friends trashed the kitchen table, and Dad blamed her. She told him to deal with Tyler, and he threw a glass at the wall. Mom had a panic attack, and Lauren had to calm her down. I told Lauren she could crash with me once I'm settled, but she's hesitant, not wanting to abandon Mom. I took it up a notch. I'm still listed on some of their utility accounts because I set them up years ago. Dad hates computers, and Mom's clueless online. I called the companies, transferring everything to Dad's name. No more bailing them out. When the power got cut for non-payment, Lauren said Mom was screaming, Tyler was whining about his phone charger, and Dad was cursing everyone. Mom tried getting my cousin Mike to guilt me into helping. I told him. They made their bed. Dad showed up at Jake's, demanding I pay the electric bill. I told him to leave, or I'd call the cops. He called me a traitor and left. The family split. Some think I'm cold. Others say my parents screwed up. Tyler's still there, but Lauren says he's on thin ice. I'm not done making them face the mess they created. Final chapter coming. I'm Ethan Carter, and it's been a year since my parents chose Tyler Grant over me, giving him my old room while telling me their Ohio house was too full. I'm in my new apartment now, a small one-bedroom, living my life, but the fallout with my folks is done. They've been spamming me with calls and texts, especially lately, but I'm not budging. Mom's voicemails are wild, sobbing 1 minute, asking for my Netflix password the next. Dad's been calling from random numbers, leaving messages like, Ethan, we're family, help us out. I blocked them all. Lauren's the only one I talk to, and she's finally out of that mess, crashing with a friend while she saves for her own place. Lauren's last updates were insane. Tyler turned their house into a war zone. He stole Dad's watch to pawn it, and when Mom confronted him, he shoved her. Dad finally snapped, kicking Tyler out, but not before Tyler trashed my old room. Holes in the walls, broken furniture. Dad tried blaming Lauren for letting it happen, but she was already half moved out. Tyler's gone, last anyone heard, couch surfing somewhere. The house is in bad shape, bills unpaid, mortgage months behind. Mom's been begging relatives for loans, but most have cut her off. Dad's talking about selling the place and renting a trailer, but he's too proud to admit they're sinking. Dad's always been a tyrant, needing control over everyone. I was never his guy, too free, too soft with my design work. Tyler played him like a fiddle, and Dad fell for it. Mom's his shadow, enabling his mistakes, then crying when they backfire. They picked Tyler because he was a project, not a son who'd challenged them. Now they're paying for it. Lauren said Mom's a wreck, crying nightly, while Dad's just angry, lashing out at anyone who'll listen. They've left me voicemails begging for help with the mortgage, saying, Ethan, we're sorry. We didn't mean it. Too late. I got a letter from their bank about the house, foreclosure warnings. I'd helped them with paperwork years ago, so my name was on old documents. I called the bank, made sure I'm clear of any liability. Then I called my parents, first time in months. Dad answered, Mom sobbing in the background. He started guilt-tripping, but I cut him off. You chose Tyler. You said I wasn't good enough. I'm done. Mom begged, saying they need me. But I said, you wanted me gone. You got it. I hung up and blocked them for good. Lauren's staying with me for a bit now, getting back on her feet. She's done with our parents too, tired of their chaos. The family split. Some cousins think I'm harsh, but others, like Uncle Steve, say Mom and Dad dug their own grave. I don't feel bad. They're adults. Let them sort it out. I've got my life, new clients, a decent place, and no more being their doormat. People say family's everything, but sometimes you gotta cut the cord to save yourself. I'm not looking back, and I'm good with that. That's the end of it.